If any of you guys need a legit website for your tech YouTube channel, blog, or whatever, the .tech Squad is offering $5 .tech domains until April 8th with the code AwesomeSauce. This is a new initiative, so many domain names haven't been taken yet. That's why I was able to score awesomesauce.tech before any of you guys could snag it first and try selling it to me later. Trolls. Go check it out. I put a link in the description. Okay, bye. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It is nice to see you again. Actually, I can't see any of you, which is probably a good thing, right? Because chances are there's at least a few of you out there who are watching me naked right now, and it'd make it really hard for me. To focus. On today's agenda, I'm taking a look at these wide beam LED strips from the folks over at CableMod. Now you might be thinking, what could possibly be different about these LED strips from any of the ones already on the market? I mean, an LED strip is just an LED strip, right? No. Well, yes, it's not like they're pretending to be. Never mind. What I'm getting at is that since the LED strip market is pretty saturated nowadays, companies have to find ways to differentiate their product if they hope to score all of our loot. So let's see what tricks CableMod has up their sleeve to stand out among other popular options like Bitfenix's Alchemy 2.0 strips, which we'll be using for comparison throughout the video. As you might expect, CableMod's LED strips come in a variety of flavors with a range of different colors, lengths, and installation methods to choose from. On the palette, we have red, blue, green, white, UV, and RGB, which comes a la carte or bundled with a controller and remote that we'll play around with later. You won't find RGB or UV options on the Alchemy side, but they do offer purple LED strips for the 6 people who have this R9 380 from Sapphire. In their defense, Bitfenix offers 12cm strips in their lineup, presumably for small form factor chassis with side panel windows. For cases larger than an Easy Bake Oven, you'll want to go for the 30 or 60cm strips from either brand. Now when it comes to installation, magnetic backing is probably the best thing to happen to LED strips since, I don't know, they were cathode tubes. Using magnets for mounting purposes lets you easily move the strips around your steel case as often as you like, or reuse them for another build. Unmounting a strip with adhesive backing usually cuts down its bonding ability from 10 to teenager, and what was once a working LED strip is now the reason you appreciate reusable chewing gum. That's not a thing? At any rate, the magnets that Bitfenix used with Alchemy 2.0 was a breath of fresh air, and CableMod has been smart to hop on the bandwagon with their own magnetic series. To test performance, I placed both strips at the top of a steel case to see if they would fall, and they did not. Test complete. However, one feature I love about Alchemy 2.0 that isn't implemented on the CableMod strips is the magnetic adapter that does a nice job of keeping the cable fastened to the case and out of sight. For those of you with non-steel chassis, CableMod also offers up the same assortment of strips with foam adhesive, which is allegedly 200% stronger than its competitors. Sadly, I don't have any competing adhesive strips to verify these claims with the demo, but after testing it out, CableMod's adhesive is the strongest I've encountered with a gripping force that makes my left hand jealous. While I wouldn't recommend it, the adhesive is strong enough to be reused if needed, just as long as the foam doesn't tear upon removal. CableMod has also done us a huge solid here by choosing adapters with SATA connectors for power. Meanwhile, at Bitfenix, authorities say that the person responsible for the Molex plugs on Alchemy strips is now being investigated for terrorism. Not only is the SATA interface easier to plug in and out, but chances are you've already got a free SATA connector floating around your case next to one of your drives. Included with every strip, you also get 2 4-pin connectors for linking additional LEDs. With the RGB bundle, you get an RGB strip, remote, SATA power adapter, and an RGB controller that features 2 4-pin extension plugs for running strips from different points in your case. Of course, you still have the option to run multiple strips off of one plug with the included connectors. Although a thickness of 7/8 inches is pretty modest for a black controller, double check to make sure you've got enough room to fit it in your case. Also connected to the module is an IR receiver with ample cable length so you can position it within a direct line of sight from where you'll be using the remote. The last accessory you'll find is an adapter for connecting the strip to the Asus Maximus 8 Formula's onboard RGB header. And in case you're new here, the motherboard is sold separately. This feature allows users to take control of the LED effects through the Asus Aura software while powering the strip directly from the motherboard. You can check out my review on the M8F if you want to see it in action. Taking a closer look at the strips, both Bitfenix and CableMod feature 15 and 30 LEDs on their 30 and 60cm offerings respectively, but there are more factors at play than LED count when it comes to a strip's brightness and appearance. Widebeam may sound like just another nickname the ladies call me, but on paper this trademark technology from CableMod delivers a 50% wider beam angle than traditional LEDs, promising a more even coat of light and increased brightness. To test these allegations, here's a direct comparison between a blue Alchemy 2.0 strip and one from CableMod. The latter is noticeably brighter and seems to do a better job at showing off the components, but I wouldn't say there's a huge difference between the two. However, when we take a look at the green LED strips from both contenders, Bitfenix gets wrecked by a landslide. Now bear in mind that these strips have the same 30cm length and 15 LED count, but that wide beam voodoo appears to be super effective. Our white strips show similar results, with CableMod projecting more coverage that actually reaches the power supply, although like my first girlfriend, most PSUs look better with the lights off. Apart from brightness, wide beam also seems to emit a purer white color than its competitor, which looks a little on the cooler side. Now at this point I ran out of Alchemy strips for comparison, but the rest of CableMod's colors appear just as bright and vibrant as the others. One exception is the UV strip, which emits a subtler glow but still gets the job done, especially if you have some white parts sitting in your PC. I'd like to point out that for the average size mid-tower, the 30cm strips are great if you just want to illuminate the top half of your system, but I definitely recommend getting two 60cm strips if you hope to cover every angle. Speaking of which, here's what two 60cm RGB strips look like inside of the Silent Base 600 mid-tower from Be Quiet. As you can see, the light reaches all the components evenly and looks very nice. Now unless you're hooking up these RGB strips to something like the Maximus 8 formula, controlling the effects is a hardware affair handled via remote. There's nothing particularly unique about this thing, as it's just an OEM unit that's found with other no-name LEDs. It's almost as generic as that one reseller whose name is generic. On the remote, you have your on and off buttons, 16 static colors featuring 10 level brightness adjustment, and 4 special effects which are unfortunately fixed at maximum brightness. It also feels like there's really just 2 or 3 effects here. Flash mode simply cuts from one color of the spectrum to another, while smooth basically does the same thing, except only with red, green, and blue. Strobe and fade are a bit easier on the eyes as they transition smoothly from color to color, but the only difference between them is that fade includes white where strobe does not. Sounds like a hate crime if you ask me. Fortunately, the speed of all these effects can be adjusted with the brightness buttons, so you can make your PC glow peacefully or have it emulate a Molly overdose. After taking a closer look at both options, in the end, my recommendation definitely goes to CableMod for being the better LED option as it currently stands. They're brighter, they harness the power of SATA, and are actually a bit more affordable than the direct competition. Now obviously something like the NZXT Hue Plus has a lot more bells and whistles, but you'll be paying around 3 times the cost. Also, good luck trying to find them in stock. I hear they're only available with the Half-Life 3 bundle. To wrap things up like you oughta, CableMod's wide beam line is pretty nice for the price, and I think most folks will be satisfied with the quality and bling factor that these strips have to offer. But that's gonna do it for now, guys, so let me know in the comments what a good LED strip means to you, and don't forget to toss me a like on this video if you enjoyed it. Before you go, check the description below where you'll find a fresh batch of CPU cooler shirts. Naked viewers, I'm looking at you. And feel free to bookmark my Amazon affiliate link down there and use it when you buy stuff. As always, I'm Kyle with Awesome Sauce Network. Thank you guys for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next video.